For joining us. A tense moment for some residents in Onion Lake last night. Police were called out for a domestic dispute after there were reports the man inside a home had a weapon. RCMP barricaded the area until the man gave up. He was arrested without incident. Well, it was a dog day at the park today. Bud Miller was overrun by man's best friend, but it was all for a good cause. Elise Cox has more.
This is Moose and Zelda. They have fun every year.
It's the event of the year for these canines as they suit up for a 5-kilometer walk.
It's one of our many fundraisers that we do throughout the year to cover our operational costs. And it's really a fun event for families with all their family members, their dogs included.
And you didn't have to be a dog owner to fundraise, but for Devin Arsenault, it's all about a fun day for her pooch.
It's a good chance to get your dogs out and socialized and to raise money for the SPCA.
Something everyone here felt very passionate about.
I think it's a valuable community service. There's a lot of stray dogs in the city, and they're a nonprofit organization that really helps out the community.
And there were a ton of activities going on throughout the day.
And we have agility and obedience demonstrations happening later on this afternoon. We'll be doing games with people and their pets, and then we'll be having prizes.
Hopefully one of those prizes is for Best Dressed. Elise Cox, Newcap News.
Wainwright kicked off the first weekend of summer in style, wrapping up its 59th annual Stampede. Lauren Pullen was there, and she brings us all the details.
Harry, I think we got some Yahooers down here.
Summer's arriving just in time as hundreds line the streets for the biggest event of the year.
Oh, I think it's huge. It showcases our community, what we have to offer, and I think it's just a lot of fun, and it's good for the community for sure.
Floats of all shapes and sizes sail down Main Street, and lucky kids even get some extra treats themselves. And just a few minutes away, eager ride-goers line up for their chance to take in the fun.
I'm having lots of fun.
A rite of summer passage for many, some taking part for nearly a decade.
I love it. I just love it. I try to get here every year.
The lineup for mini donuts stays steady. The chance for some fresh squeezed lemonade, another crowd favorite. And there are always some surprises daring carnival goers can try out. And of course, who can forget the games? Rows and rows of them. Though the carnival is one of the highlights, the best part of Stampede depends on who you talk to.
And I want to see the horses, truck wagons.
Just the horses and cowboys.
And back on the parade route, people excited as ever to soak up the sun, taking in the 59th annual Stampede. The goal for everyone,
have fun.
Mission accomplished. Lauren Pullen, Newcap News.
For the past 7 days, the nation has been celebrating National Aboriginal Week. Here in the border city, locals have been showcasing their heritage. A talent show was held to celebrate National Aboriginal Week and the Native Friendship Center's 30th anniversary. There were also Métis and First Nation dance demonstrations and prizes for the top contestants. Well, they're a summertime staple, but in a very bad way. Mosquitoes, the pesky mascot for the next few months, but there are ways to beat them, and there are also products to help with the itching if they still manage to get you.
They're pesky, they're annoying, but they're not going anywhere. Mosquitoes are a nuisance when you're trying to enjoy the outdoors. So how can you prevent them from biting? A local hardware store has several products to help in the fight against the bugs.
The first product we have is just called the Power Pad. It's like a lantern for mosquito prevention. You just stick the little power pad in the top and the candle underneath warms it up and lets the mosquito repellent out.
There are other products such as this clip-on that acts as a repellent for 11 hours, or plain old bug spray. But not everyone is on board with the spray.
I burn a citronella candle when I'm sitting out on my deck.
Do you find that it works?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Other than that, I don't wear mosquito spray. I don't find mosquitoes bug me that much.
I try not to, but if I have to, I'll use bug spray.
But of course, we can't keep all mosquitoes away. Over at Family Pharmacy, they gave us these tips to properly treat a bite. First thing you want to do is wash the area with warm water and soap. That will kill the bacteria. Next, ice the bite for about 10 minutes to help with inflammation. And for itching, use products such as Afterbite or calamine lotion.
Calamine lotion is very popular. It's also used in pregnant women, children. It's very safe. It's easy to use. You just apply it right on there.
Lloydminster doesn't have a mosquito prevention program, so it's up to homeowners to take charge. Don't leave pools of water lying around. That's where mosquitoes lay their eggs. And keep your lawn short. Mosquitoes like to hide in longer grass. Mosquitoes aren't fun, but for one local boy, he has this message for them.
Bug off.
If only it were that easy.
That is such a cute story.
That wasn't bad. That was better than the Bobcat season this year. Someone proposed on the ice.
See, and I was just going to say that. Are you a big fan of these public, these public proposals?
No, I'd be afraid I got rejected. I don't think it'd work for me.
Who can reject you?
I
Come
don't know.
on.
But in sports, we got a lot to talk about. The biggest race in the CPCA season just wrapped up in Wainwright this weekend.
The Chief, Ray Mitsui, grabbed the top time of the night on both Thursday and Friday. That left him comfortably ahead of a slew of drivers for top time in the aggregate.
This track in Wainwright's short. All it is a barreling contest, more or less, and I've been pretty lucky over the years. I've been barreling fairly hard and running hard.
Mitsui slipped on Saturday, finishing 16th fastest on the night. That gave enough room for two drivers to leapfrog the veteran racer. Brian Labakane finished 3/100ths of a second faster than Ray in the aggregate, while Vern Nolan took the top overall time, 8/100ths of a second ahead of Labakane. This is the second consecutive show win for the 2010 Canadian champion. It also gave him a chance to win today's H&E Oilfields $10,000 Dash for Cash against the two previously mentioned drivers.
And the aggregate, Vern Nolan took top time. Brian Labakane, the veteran, close behind. Wayne Knight was leading going into it, and Shane Nolan, nice to see him with his brother on that top pack. Now, despite winning the aggregate, Nolan wasn't able to claim the Dash for Cash. Ray Mitsui stormed across the Wainwright track yet again to leave the town $10,000 richer. A wicked start to the season for the veteran driver. The Lloydminster U16 Betcave Rebels girls have proved in the early part of this year that last season's national entry was no fluke.
Well, we want to win our league here this weekend. We haven't lost a game yet, so we definitely don't want to lose the first one this weekend, that's for sure.
The undefeated Rebels are at home trying to wrap up their league championship. The girls have been absolutely dominant in front of the home crowd. The Rebels won their two round-robin games by a combined score of 32-3. They got 2 home runs, 2 mercies, and a no-hitter in those victories. In playoffs, they stepped it up a notch. They hammered Red Deer 14-0 before mercying Prince Albert 8-1 in 5 innings. These huge victories are becoming more and more frequent for the team.
We want to go to provincials. We want to win that, of course, qualify for nationals, and then, always want to go try and win a medal at nationals.
And those internal expectations are as high as they've ever been.
There's high expectations for this group, internally, and I know just in general. Everyone that we play against, everyone that watches has high expectations every time we step onto the diamond.
And the Rebels just wrapped up the finals this evening. According to the Fenton Files, the Rebels were down to Prince Albert 4-2 after 4 innings, but stormed back with 7 runs in the 5th. They didn't stop there, scoring 3 more in the 6th to mercy Prince Albert in the finals, 12-4. The Lakeland Rustlers soccer teams both had disappointing runs last season. In an effort to change the poor results, Rustlers head coach Kevin Wagner has changed the off-season game plan. Rustlers hopefuls took to the field for the first training session under the new formula.
We really don't have any opportunity to have failures in our first 1 or 2 weekends. If we do, we won't be in playoffs. So we have to have a positive preseason, and this is the first step of it.
Wagner says he noticed things needed to change right from the first season. This weekend, the Rustlers men and women played matches against premier teams from Regina. Players from Ontario, Calgary, Edmonton, and the local area are out to compete for a spot with the green and gold.
We never could have had this last year. I couldn't have, the players have bought in. They've also realized through our failures, through soccer, that we need to do more work.
The main value Wagner is preaching is focus, something he credits as being the downfall of previous squads.
We didn't have the mindset. We weren't disciplined enough. We weren't prepared enough to sacrifice the little things in order to have more success. I think that with half of our group coming back on both the men's and women's team, we'll have opportunity to learn from those mistakes and start winning a few more games.
The Rustlers are also trying to find the right balance of local and import players to win a championship soon.
I know that we do have a lot of grade 11s coming through the system that will lead to some local success and hopefully team success coming up in a couple years' time as well.
That's your first look at Newcap Sports. Stay tuned for more news and weather after the break.